on the power of the cards and what they have to offer us tonight. The messages from the tarot. We trust in the cards, and we are listening to what we need to hear. Thank you for letting me be the channel to bring it all through. So if you're new to my tarot readings, I typically pull a card for past, present, and future. I did that tonight with this new moon in Libra, this first new moon of autumn. And for our past card, I pulled the Tower. If you know a lot about tarot, you're probably laughing with me. So this is it's a card of karma. Lightning is striking the Tower. This is kind of a series of unfortunate events that are happening out of natural selection. This is God, goddess, taking action to make change that is necessary. And you can see that there's a man on one side, there's a woman on the other. And this really does separate kind of this division that we've had within ourselves and amongst the collective, right? I'm feeling a very strong division between the collective masculine and feminine, but I'm also feeling a division within ourselves. Like we're forgetting who we are. And I think that this comes out of, and I'm not talking about this in a negative light at all, but I want to talk about kind of like transgenderism or the concept of binaryism. Sorry, can't talk well. Mercury in retrograde. But let's talk about this, because when we really start to deconstruct these labels of gender, maybe to the point that we don't identify with either one of them or anything at all anymore, this also does tend to hurt our ability to connect to our energy from within. We've got to remember that we are masculine and feminine energy combined into one. No matter how we identify with the label on the outside, we still have both energies inside. And it's important that now in this new moon in Libra, this moon in Hasta Nakshatra, exalted by the divine light of goddess source energy, it's important for us to come back to our own source and remember that we're co-creative beings of both masculine and feminine energy. We have to come together to move forward. That means men and women, Republicans and Democrats, the north side of the equator and the south side of the equator, the eastern side of the world and the western side of the world. We have got to harmonize, we've got to unify, we've got to come together in order to co-create this better new earth that we're standing on now. But it starts with ourselves. We can try to work with each other on the collective, but if we're not doing the work on ourselves, then it's not going to do any good, because we can't relate to that unification process. We can't relate to cultivating our own inner peace. We're just holding an ideal in our head and trying to live it on the external world, or trying to force it or pretend with the external world, when the truth is it's not going to get us anywhere. And guess what? If you don't keep doing the work on yourself to find this peace, to find this harmony, to embrace both sides of yourself, light and dark, masculine and feminine, human and holy, if you don't figure all that out, the universe is going to keep figuring it out for you. It's going to keep sending in the storms. You're going to, continue to feel like your life is crumbling around you until you figure it out. And so this Tower card right now, pulled with the concept of our past, is saying, hey, all of this collective chaos that we've gone through, this deconstruction of our old earth and our old ways and our old life, it's for our greater good. It's not to punish us. Our ego gets in the way. I talk about this with the Tower card a lot. Our ego gets in the way when we have something bad happen to us, okay? So let's say we have something bad happen to us. Oh, woe is me. The ego wants to be a victim. The ego wants to attach to the sob story. The ego wants to feel low. The ego wants to attach to the human experience. And the ego wants to keep you from knowing that you're more than the ego, that you're a holy, divine being, and that you have the ability to move on from that. So let go of the victimization, because this stuff is happening to everybody right now. And it may not be happening in the same way, but we're all dealing with these lightning strikes. We're all dealing with our lives falling apart. And we're all dealing with moving into this new world with a lot of confusion and uncertainty. But can you believe that it is for our greatest good? I want to point out something about this card. This card is ruled by the planet Jupiter. You think it'd be Saturn, you think it'd be karma, but no, it's Jupiter, the planet of joy, luck, and expansion, the planet of growth. How blessed and lucky are we to be in this time on the collective of humanity to reconstruct our society into this new 5D experience. How lucky are we to start to learn that we are co-creative beings? How amazing is it that we have the power to grow from within? You don't really need anything else. It's all in here. So remind yourself, no matter what you're going through, it's for your growth. If you're splitting apart in a relationship, this Tower card can maybe also represent the Venus-Uranus opposition that we just went through at the end of September. So last week, there were a lot of shakeups, breakups, relationship separations, conscious uncouplings, and divorces. For real. If astrology isn't real, why did it all happen? And if you're going through that too, it's okay. The universe it's cause and effect. The universe is doing that for you to grow, for you to find somebody better, or maybe for you to just find and love yourself. Moving on. That was a lot. Present card, 10 of Wands. There's a lot going on right now. That's what the 10 of Wands says. Sometimes when you pull the 10 of Wands, it basically is a message of like, just shuffle the cards again, sister, and re-pull because I got nothing for you. So the 10 of Wands is telling us we're kind of in a cosmic standstill right now. So many planets in retrograde right now. Not your typical Libra season full of love and art and beauty and grace. Like, this is like a cosmic shit show, okay? I'm sorry if you got kids around and they heard that, but it's true. We have a lot going on with Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of confusion, and we might not know what the hell to do right now. It's a new moon. It's time to set new intentions and take action on new beginnings, and we might just feel stuck. And that's okay too. I remember Amy mentioned on the beginning that she was feeling stuck tonight. It's that airhead energy. When we're in our head, it's hard to come down into our heart or ground in and make a decision. When we have all this energy in Libra, it's kind of just the way it's going to be. So if you're struggling to make a decision right now, just sit on it, table it, breathe with it, meditate on it. Now is not the time to necessarily move forward. Now is the time to just be in that space of in between and see what happens. All right, and finally we have our future card, which I had my son pull. Now you might have heard me say this before, you might not know. My son has been intuitively drawing highly appropriately aligned cards ever since he could pull a card as a baby. He's 2.5 now. I'm always fascinated by the cards he pulls, and because he's an Aries sun, opposite of my Libra sun, and what we're going into as we reach the full moon in 2 weeks, I thought he should pull the card for the future. He pulled the 9 of Cups, the 9 Nights of the Goddess. This new moon marks the beginning of Navaratri. And the cups represent the womb, divine feminine energy, emotions and emotional processing, and kind of this purification and cleansing energy as well, right? So we're beginning a new cycle. We have the opportunity to begin again. And as we move towards the full moon, or really just as we move forward, we're still going to have to kind of navigate the shadows of our womb. We're still going to be fighting these demons and encountering these demons, like the journey of Durga and the goddess and the story of celebration of Navaratri. And so, as we go into these next few weeks, as all these planets start to turn more direct, we are being purified. We are being cleansed. We are being washed anew so that we can move forward again as our high holy self, right? It kind of comes back to that Hasta Nakshatra. This is also a great representation of heart energy and Venus energy, because the card is pink, which is the color of the heart chakra. And then we have this water inside representing the womb. And for those that don't know, the heart and the womb are fully connected. So as you move forward into the future and you start to make choices around, the paths that come your way and where you want to follow, it's important that you're making choices that are out of love more than anything else. Also know that this is kind of a gestational period. We are in the co-creative process, but we might be more kind of in the conception process. We might be in the pregnancy process. We might be preparing to give birth, but we're not quite there on the other side of it yet. So this 9 representing maybe 9 months of gestation, or maybe the beginning, that conception that marks the beginning of the 9 months of conception. Just know that we still have more work to do, and more creative cultivation before we make our dreams fully come true, or we feel more fully aligned. Okay, so just to review, past card, the Tower, ruled by Jupiter. Sometimes we have an act of God or goddess that shifts us in a different direction. It's all for our spiritual growth. It's going to help us to power through and make a better decision as we reconstruct our life moving forward. In the present moment, we have the 10 of Wands, just a lot going on, a lot of confusion. It's hard to make decisions right now. Libra energy is strong. Air and fire are strong. Let's sit in the stillness. Let's let our guides bring us the answers. And maybe the best decision is not to make a decision at all. 9 of Cups, the 9 Nights of the Goddess, the future demon slaying that we have yet to do, the belief that it's all to find more alignment, to find more of our holy selves, to purify ourselves so that we become somebody better as we become somebody new. Embrace what these next few weeks have to offer you as all planets turn direct. You're going to have a lot of free will choice to either learn the same lessons as we move forward or evolve and learn something new.